Being an empath, I realize it's super important to know when I'm feeling tired. We are sensitive to the energy around us, and if we don't know when to step back and take a break, we can quickly spiral downwards. So here are 9 signs that your empath soul is running on empty. Sign number 1, physical exhaustion. Do you feel exhausted even after a good night's sleep? Maybe you haven't done much, but yet you still feel very tired. Or you suddenly just feel drained for no apparent reason. Well, your empath soul might be trying to tell you something. It could be a sign that you need a break and some deeper healing other than sleep. It's possible you've been soaking up other people's emotion over time without realizing it. It's like having a bunch of hidden apps open on your phone, draining the battery in the background that you don't know or not aware of. You need to close them to fully recharge. Otherwise, even if you are resting, you might still feel very exhausted. Apart from sleep, you may need some deep aura or energy cleansing meditation to really reset your system. Think of it more like a factory reset rather than merely turning off your phone. Sign number 2, emotional overwhelm. When you don't process your emotion regularly, you will be like this cup. Once you are full, there's no room for more emotions. Keep adding more water and it all just spills up. When you are tired, you'll notice you get more emotional. It's like the overflow of water. You keep soaking in more emotion and they have nowhere to go, and eventually they must find a way to be released. And that's why you may find yourself becoming more emotionally expressive. You may find it challenging to control your emotions, and your emotion state is a bit unstable. You may experience sudden mood swings and have difficulty distinguish between your emotion and those around you. As empath, we tend to match other people's emotion, but under normal circumstances, we may not express them. But when we are feeling tired, they just come out more like the overflowing water. And even though expressing your emotion can help you to release them, it can also be very draining. You know that phrase, cry yourself to sleep? I don't know about you, but to me, crying is physically and mentally exhausting. Whenever I have intense emotion and end up crying, I feel drained and ready to sleep. That's why people say cry yourself to sleep. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's not just about expressing your emotions. It's essential to learn how to let go of these feelings without always having to express them. Sign number 3, emotionally reactive. Empaths are usually kind and compassionate, but when we get tired, we can easily become irritated and short tempered. I often notice that when little things start to bug me, like a messy house or stuff not being where it should be, people talking too loudly, or even when the weather is a bit too hot, this is a sign that I'm feeling overwhelmed. Sure, these things can overstimulate us sensitive folks, but we usually have some tolerance for them. However, when we are at our limit, such minor triggers can make us snap and lose our cool very quickly. It's like we instinctively know our cup is full and we just can't take it anymore. And any little input makes us feel very defensive. We feel unsafe and we become very emotionally reactive even over the slightest hint of irritation. This is a way we protect ourselves. But after we snap at someone, we feel very guilty. So it's not a good cycle to be stuck in. Sign number 4, anxiety and stress. Ever wake up feeling unsafe, anxious, or just plain off, like something is off? Your empath soul might be having a tough time coping. When we shift into this defensive mode I mentioned earlier, our alertness skyrocket. Suddenly, everything seems like a threat, like a trigger. If you don't clear your energy and calm your nerves or body, it can snowball into chronic stress and anxiety. This could show up as a constant unease, racing thoughts, or even panic attacks. You might start feeling uneasy in your surrounding, even if nothing is obviously wrong. Being tense like this all the time can lead to physical symptoms and illnesses, which brings us to the sign number 5. Sign number 5, physical symptom. When we are exhausted, our body can give us clues like headaches, muscle tension, and digestive issues. For me, migraine often pops out when I'm feeling stressed, even if I don't know what is causing the stress right away. But these physical signs are not a bad thing. They're simply our body way of saying, hey, you need to take a break, go take some rest. If you ignore these early burnout signs, your body might start to shut down to make you rest. Once I was feeling super stressed while organizing an event, then suddenly I started developing this bad cough and fever. It's like my body was trying to say, stop doing these things that stress you out. You don't like organizing events, so stop doing things that you don't enjoy. If you ignore these signs and signals and just push on, it will only make you feel worse. So treat these symptoms as your body's way of telling you to take a breather. And rather than go into a panic mode like, oh, what's happening to my body? Am I developing a serious illness? Relax first and see what important message your body is trying to convey to you. Sign number 6, struggling to focus and feeling confused. Everything's connected, your body, mind, and spirit. When you are exhausted and stressed, concentrating becomes tough. If you can't stay focused on your work or task lately, it's probably a sign. Instead of pushing through, take a break. Head outside for a quick 5-minute walk. Let your mind relax a bit, and you will feel much better. The worst thing is when you're feeling drained and you still force yourself to keep going. You may end up in a negative cycle. You might get frustrated when you can't do tasks you usually handle easily, thinking that you're not good enough or you become worse at your job. And then this will spiral downwards. Also, as highly sensitive people, we take time to process information. The confusion you're feeling could be a result of many things happening at once, causing your mind to feel chaotic. So give yourself some time to be alone and process things. Sign number 7, social withdrawals. When our soul is feeling tired, we tend to pull back from social interaction. This is our way of protecting ourselves from taking in too much emotionally. Stepping back might be the best thing for your soul. When you distance yourself from all the trigger, you can focus on yourself, calm your nerves, and let go of some of the emotions. But while solitude can be a relief, it can also lead to feeling isolated and lonely if you're not careful. People might misunderstand you or wonder why you've suddenly gone cold, or you might feel guilty for putting yourself first. Maybe you feel like there's more you should do, but you just don't have it in you. You might feel a bit disappointed in yourself that you're not your usual compassionate self. And this is totally normal because you're moving into sign number 8. Sign number 8, compassionate fatigue. Before we hit burnout, us empaths often give a lot to others, helping them solve their problems. But when we are exhausted, we might start feeling emotionally numb or apathetic, almost like we don't care anymore. We can't provide the same level of care and support to others as before. Think of it like a circuit breaker that prevents wires from overheating. When electrical appliances overheat, the electricity is automatically shut off to prevent potential fires. That's basically what happened with compassion fatigue. We give too much, use our reserve, and then our system just shut down. We go from being super compassionate to feeling nothing at all. It's actually a protective mechanism, but it's also a sign to check in with ourselves, just like how you will check which appliances is overheated and why before you switch the electricity back on. Sign number 9, trying to numb emotions. Sometimes empaths might turn to alcohol, drugs, or food to numb and deal with overwhelming emotions. While this coping strategy might offer a quick fix, they can spiral into addiction if not handled properly. Plus, after a while, these substances might stop providing the relief that they once did, and eventually it could lead to depression. Distracting yourself isn't always a bad thing. I mean, when I'm exhausted, I sometimes play games or binge TV shows too. But take note of how you feel after you drain yourself. I don't know about you. Sometimes I end up feeling more tired after taking the so called breaks. The thing is, these breaks aren't really breaks. They don't help you to process your emotion or reset your system. They just temporarily shift your focus away from your emotion, which can be helpful sometimes. When you return to your problems, you might see things in a different light. But this method don't fix the core issue, which is that you are tired. What you really need is some deep rest. Realizing you're tired is one thing, but figuring out why is the key to stopping it from happening again. Check out this next video.